How's it guys? Welcome to another video. I know you've been waiting a long time to see this. Well, today I'm going to explain to you how to fine-tune and set the idle mixture screw on the Kia KS2 carburetor, as well as explaining why the idle gets stuck after you drive your car too high or you're driving on the highway and stuff like that. And then when you slow down, the idle is still hanging. So the first thing I want to show you how to get this carburetor set up. This here is the mixture screw. The carburetor only has the mixture screw and it has the fast speed idle screw. The mixture screw allows, as you're going to see when I turn it right inside, right, I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's a port right there. There's a small hole there. So when you turn the mixture screw right in, it doesn't allow fuel to go through that. So when you turn it out anti-clockwise, like you can see, it allows more fuel. So remember, the more in you go, it adds less fuel to the mixture. The more out you go, it adds more fuel to the mixture. So the time where your car could be running rich will be most probably at idle. A lot of guys will run rich at idle because they have their screw too far out like that. You can see there's too much of petrol. So what I usually do, I know a lot of guys say turn it right in and then they say back it out 2.5 turns. I feel this works the best. Once you turn it right in, when it bottoms out, you're going to turn the screw until it's almost leveled with the lip, with the rim. I feel perfect. That's perfect, and it works perfectly fine. Your car's mixture will be correct, and then you're gonna adjust your idle screw. When you turn it anti-clockwise, it reduces speed, and when you turn it clockwise, it increases the speed. As you turn your idle screw, I'm going to show this to you. The more you turn your idle screw, look at what's happening to your throttle. So the more you turn it, you're opening this flap, and that flap is allowing more air to go through the venturi of the carburetor to the top. It's adding more air. So you don't want this open too wide, because you'll see in the standard Kia KS2 carburetors it has a small port drilled in to allow that air. So these carburetors not supposed to be, you know, like a lot of say I increase the idle. It's not supposed to be so high. A lot of guys can't get the idle mixture correct, so they increase the idle to make it idle, and it's wrong. So let's talk about why your idle, not your idle, the idle doesn't come down after you like drive the car hard. Let's just say you're going 120, 100, and then you let your foot off the gas, you come to a stop, and then you'll see your idle is climbing higher and it's stuck there. It takes a while for it to come down. That's happening because of your second stage. Like you can see here, you are opening your second stage. This pulls when you throttle, your second stage opens, and then there's a vacuum that pulls it open, and then it moves. You can see it moves up, just like I'll show it to you now. It does that. So when vacuum is applied here, it picks up. But a lot of carburetors, if the second stage is not functioning properly, it's too stiff. See, this is supposed to come back down quick, but if you look closely, watch when I pick it up. Can you see it takes long for it to come back in its correct position. So I'll even do that with my mouth. Watch this. Can you see how long it took to release? So when your second stage is stuck open for that long, it's going to be opening your second stage port. And when it opens the second stage port, more air is going to come into the carburetor, and then that is why your idle is stuck so high. And only when this comes right down completely, that's when your idle settles. So make sure your second stage is very smooth. The way you can test this, use your mouth with a pipe and suck onto it. It must feel like easy to pull with your mouth. If it feels stiff and you realize that it's taking too long to release, then you know your second stage has a problem. It's too stiff, and that's the cause for your idle hanging on revs and stuff like that. Now guys, I'm going to show you how I do it on the vehicle. My carburetor is already set 100%, but I'm going to take it off adjustment just to show you how simple it is and put it back into adjustment while the engine is running, to show you that it really works. Stay tuned and watch till the end. Before you do any adjustments, make sure that the vehicle is at operating temperature, and I want you to go to your vacuum advance pipe and plug it off. Remove it from the vacuum advance and plug it off with a screw like I did here. You cannot make any adjustments to the carburetor while the vacuum advance port is connected. So I'm going to start off by going to the brass screw, the air fuel screw, and I'm going to turn it inwards. Remember, clockwise is turning it inwards, and as I turn it in, you're going to see that the vehicle is going to have less fuel at idle, and the whole engine is going to start vibrating. Just watch this. As you can see, the screw is almost bottomed out. If I tighten it any more, the vehicle will switch off. Now I'm going to pick the idle back up to how it's supposed to be. You're going to see how I explained to you where the brass screw must be flush with the rim of the port where the screw fits in. It can be flush or it can be slightly a bit inside, and then you're going to see that the idle is going to start stabilizing. And just like that guys, the idle is smooth again. Now I'm going to move on to the fast idle speed screw. This screw controls the throttle flap to allow more air in. I'm going to move on to that now. You can see there my fuel screw is flush where it's supposed to be. Now I'm getting to the idle screw. Just mind my camera and the way I was doing it is quite hard in the dark, but going to point at it, you can see the screw. I showed it to you earlier on. This is a star head screw with a spring. I'm going to increase the idle for you. And then I'm going to decrease the idle so you can see it's not rocket science. Anybody can do this. You don't even have to have mechanical knowledge to pull this off. So don't be afraid to just play around with it. But you want your vehicle to sit at 900 RPM. Nothing more, nothing less. So yeah, I'm going to take you back inside the vehicle now and see more or less where my idle is sitting. So just below 900, but it will settle out when the car is hot. So yeah guys, that's how simple it was. So once your idle is set, you are going to go back to your distributor. You need to put your vacuum advance back, and now I'm going to show you how to test the vacuum advance. I've done a video on this, but it was a short clip. You're going to plug the pipe back in. Once again, mind the bad camera quality and the bad angling. Once I plug it in, I'm going to hold the rev like about 1.5, because that's when the vacuum advance kicks in. I'm going to hold the rev at 1.5, and I'm going to remove the vacuum pipe, and every time I do that, you're going to see that the idle changes. That's how you test, and that's how you know that your vacuum advance is working correctly. And trust me, you need vacuum advance, because when you're at cruising speeds, your timing needs to advance to burn that mixture correctly. Watch this. So yeah guys, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and till the next one.